Now, 7 weather with meteorologist Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida, the heat is on. Temperatures are already in the upper 80s for our mainland areas, 89 in Miami, 86 in Fort Lauderdale and Key Largo, 85 right now from Marathon into Key West. It feels much hotter, though. It feels like 95 in Key West, and it feels like 96 at MIA. Feels like temperature in Fort Lauderdale and Marathon at 93 degrees. The heat, the big story, still dry conditions, just a few clouds across South Florida. And you can see that the wind is moving from south to north, blowing from south to north, because that's the direction that the clouds are moving towards the north. A lot of sunshine across the Florida Keys. Dry time for all of South Florida and for the entire state, really, as we still have a dome of high pressure in the Gulf that's in the upper levels with a surface high just on the other side of Florida. That's what's providing that warm south wind. So hot conditions today. Once you factor in the humidity, it makes it feel near 100 degrees for some of us. So if you are planning on spending any significant time outdoors, whether it's today or through the next few days, please keep that water with you and try to take breaks from the sun if possible. Tomorrow, looking like one of possibly the hottest day of the week, even hotter, a light breeze in place. It could pick up a little bit during the afternoon, maybe a spotty shower in the afternoon, just with the heating of the day and with winds coming out of the west. Another sweltering afternoon on Thursday. A few spotty showers will be possible. And then after that, we begin to see hopefully some relief. No advisories for boaters in Miami-Dade and Broward. Seas 2 feet or less. Winds will be out of the south, offshore. Biscayne Bay, a light chop. Heading into the Florida Keys, coastal waters, a light to moderate chop with seas beyond the reef 2 to 3 feet. Winds will be out of the south-southeast anywhere between 5 to 15 knots. Now, we do have a high tide this afternoon, 2:44 in Fort Lauderdale, 3:13 in Miami and Key West. Your high tide will be at 4:22 this afternoon. So for today, mostly sunny, feeling steamy. Highs will be in the 90s for our mainland areas, 80s for the Keys. It'll feel close to 100 degrees for our mainland spots. It's going to feel quite steamy. It already feels like that across some of our lower Keys. Very humid tonight. Not much relief as far as the heat for tonight. Overnight lows will be in the 70s to near 80 degrees, but we do remain dry. Again, the difference tomorrow is that we'll have a southwest wind, so highs will be in the mid-90s, and we could see an afternoon shower both Wednesday and Thursday. We could also be flirting with record highs for some spots. Heading into Friday, there's going to be a front in the vicinity, so we're hoping that with some cloud cover and maybe a few spotty showers, and with winds returning off the water, highs won't be as hot for the upcoming weekend, maybe low 90s, but right now the best chance for shower activity looks to be early next week. That's your 7 on 7 forecast.
Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida, the heat is on. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s, and we're starting to see some 90s across South Florida. 90 in Hialeah and in Kendall, 89 right now in Miami, 88 in Pompano Beach, 86 in Fort Lauderdale, and 87 in Homestead. Into the Florida Keys, upper 80s from Big Pine into Cudjoe, 86 in Key West and in Key Largo, 85 right now in Marathon, with feels like temperatures well into the 90s. It feels like 98 right now in Key West. Feels like 96 in Miami and 93 in Fort Lauderdale and in Marathon. Clouds moving from south to north, but as you can see, no rain anywhere in sight. And we do have the radar on here. There's just so much dry air in place that we just don't even see any spotty showers even over our waters. And this is the reason why. Look at all this dry air across Florida. That's the orange that you see. We don't have the available moisture for rain. For that, we have to go way up north near the Ohio valleys or even into the Atlantic. But for us here, another dry day. But things will begin to change for us here down the road. There'll be an approaching front starting tomorrow into Thursday. That, together with some moisture nearby, there could be enough for maybe a few showers to develop. So we'll keep that chance every afternoon starting tomorrow through the upcoming weekend. But again, even with that, rain chances for South Florida will remain on the lower end. Boating forecasts for Miami-Dade and Broward, though, do look good. Winds could pick up a little bit this afternoon, as they have the last few afternoons, maybe up to 15 knots offshore. Seas 2 feet or less. Biscayne Bay, a light chop. Heading into the Florida Keys, coastal waters, a light to moderate chop. No advisories. Nice conditions. Seas beyond the reef at most, building 2 to 3 feet, with a high tide this afternoon. 2:44 in Fort Lauderdale, 3:13 in Miami. Key West, your high tide will be at 4:22 p.m. So for today, mostly sunny. It's going to feel hot. You have factor in the humidity. It really drains you. So if you have to spend any significant time outdoors, maybe your job provides calls for it, just remember to have that water with you. And if you can, take a break from the sun. Feels like temperatures will be in the hundreds. And then tonight, unfortunately, we get very little relief from the heat. Our overnight lows will be mostly in the mid to upper 70s for Miami-Dade and Broward, about 80s for the Florida Keys. And that's the trend through the next few days, except that tomorrow and Thursday will turn hotter. water will be nearing records for a lot of South Florida locations on Wednesday and Thursday. Highs will be in the mid-90s. But you'll notice we do reintroduce the chance for some spotty showers. The heat, together with the wind out of the west-southwest and an approaching front, could allow for some of those afternoon showers both Wednesday, Thursday through the upcoming weekend. But for now, it looks like the best chance will be early next week. That's your 7 on 7 forecast.